Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy New Year's and welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ace, and that is McMillian. And today we got the finale of the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 discussion, and of course, so much more. But of course, before we get into all that, if you'd like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. And with that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody, welcome back. Happy New Year's. Hope everybody's doing great. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing good, my friend. How about you?
Doing good. Always a great time when we get to sit down and have a discussion here on anime, like as always. Excuse me. So of course, as always, everybody, we're gonna start us off with some council announcements. I'm gonna hand it off to McMillian here, who's gonna get us started.
So to get started, as always, we're going to go over the agenda. So for this episode, we'll be talking about the season finale of JJK Season 2. Then we'll be moving into anime news. And as well as always, giving you a weekly recommendation. And then rounding it out, me and Ace decided to hit you guys with our watch list for the new season. So
for the winter 2024 season, to be exact.
Mm-hmm. Now, just as a reminder, last week we did release our Hidden Gems episode, so go ahead over there if you're interested to see what stuff from 2023 you may have missed, if at all. And don't feel and if you wanted to let us know anything about your Hidden Gems, if we missed anything, please go ahead and leave those in the comments. We'd love to check them out. As well as always, guys, we're still on the road to 100 subscribers, so if you're watching this on YouTube and that red button ain't checked off, please go ahead and do so now. we would greatly appreciate it.
That is correct. So that is the end of all the council announcements that we have here for today for you all.
There's one I forgot to put this on the docket. Recently, a good friend of the podcast here, our thumbnail artist, Top Notch, or Nomad, as he's also known, has released a mini documentary on the creator of Chainsaw Man. If you are interested in that, please go check him out. He does besides doing great work for us on the podcast, he's also another lover of anime and manga. So I'm pretty sure you guys might want to check out his stuff. So we'll leave a link in the description, but you can also find it. We did retweet his announcement on our social media, so you can also find it
correct
there. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Correct. Shout out Nomad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With all that being said, that is the end of our council announcement, everybody. And we're going to start us off with today's first discussion, the JJK Season 2 finale, Episode 47, Shibuya Incident Gate Closed. Fuga in reverse. So yeah, man, JJK has been a wild ride this season and is looking up for the next season 3, which is already announced, but of course we're gonna get to that a little bit later. Season 3 is definitely looking to be even crazier, and I can't wait to get to that discussion a little bit later on. But just once again, hats off to Mappa. Hands down, Shibuya Incident has been great from start to finish.
Yeah, the animators did a fucking amazing job.
Yes.
Yeah, hats off to them. Mappa, the studio, I need y'all to treat them better though. Like that's not negotiable. But yeah, they did a great job. And I can't wait to see what they pull out for season 3. But with all that being said, in the season 2, we got a lot going on. Basically, a lot of lore.
The lore.
And we're here to discuss it. So just start us off. I guess we'll jump into the big fish. The person who's controlling Ghetto's body, basically, he seemed to have his own plan, kind of almost a la like original Ghetto's whole thing of like trying to see if we could turn people into sorcerers or remove, sorcerers from the equation altogether. But his is more so about the evolution, it seems, of cursed energy and cursed techniques and all that has to it. And the way he's deciding to go about it is by releasing and awakening more sorcerers that he himself has like basically, I guess, infected, I guess, almost is what I would probably say,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as releasing curses that he has made deals with over millennia, however long this person in Ghetto's body has lived. And the way he did so was by using the perfect form of was idol transfiguration, right? I
Yeah,
believe that's
Mahito's
Mahito's curse.
technique. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I this shit's crazy.
Before we go too far, I do want to touch upon something that you just mentioned. How
Mhm.
Fake Ghetto, which is we know him by I guess another name Kamo right now, how his I guess his vision or his plan was actually kind of similar to Ghetto's dream in a
Mhm.
sense, like you just mentioned, but just I guess a little bit more extensive because though he do want to create a world of cursed users, he's not against non-sorcerers still being alive and stuff like that, and just cursed spirits also still being alive. He's not against those things, like you said. Oh, those are all
Yeah.
possibilities in his worlds. He's just trying to bring about back, and we found out the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to pronounce this, the Heian
Mhm.
age is what it was called. I
Yeah.
did get a chance to look this up before we started the podcast, but I also probably I didn't want to look it up because maybe it also has some
It might
potential
be a spoiler.
spoilers for
Yeah.
for next season.
I
So
believe
I
if I'm
decided to leave that alone. But
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Heian age was the age in which Sukuna was
yeah, I
basically
was just
like
about to say I'm pretty
the
sure that's the
reigning person.
age. Yeah, Sukuna was back from originally, like you said, what the age
Mhm.
that he reigned in, essentially, and probably even the same age that this Como guy is from originally as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it could potentially it could be like a fanboy, like someone who was born
I mean,
after
well, could be. Well,
as like
we just know he's been alive for over 1,000 years now because
years. Yeah,
we got
so
the confirmation that he's been gathering all these curses, putting this plan in motion for over 1,000 years. So we know he's been alive for at least that long. Like, but
yeah,
we don't know how long the Heian age, how long ago that was, but it's still potential that he's also from that age as well.
yeah. It's another thing I think is interesting to also point out. So in the episode when this person who is Abbott in Ghetto's body decides to like explain this plan, Yuki talks about how the biggest issue with that is that it would leave the rest of what he's trying to do is almost essentially like bring back the golden age of jujutsu sorcery, but only in Japan because
Shibuya,
of
yeah,
that,
only in Japan, yeah.
because that's where Tengen Sama reigns, and like one of his parts of the plan is to like reinforce his cursed barrier or something. I think is what
Well,
like they talked about.
I think it was more along the lines of though cursed spirits pop up, outside of Japan. Japan is really the hot spot. So once he activates
Hmm.
this, Japan is essentially gonna become the main power for Jujutsu sorcery essentially, which is gonna make the
Yeah,
world look at them in a different way.
wait, yeah, it's gonna basically make them seem like a threat, and also another thing would be like I guess if cursed spirits pop up in other places, which is still potential, possible, it would leave like people there
In
unprotected,
danger,
and
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
which is so like the fact that he's even bringing back these extra ass cursed spirits is a problem not only for our main characters but people outside of like the where they reside. So
Yeah.
it's just
And then on top of that, well, one, I do want to touch upon this. I was right from last episode. So my Ghetto did indeed take idol
mhm,
transfiguration
after
from
transfiguration.
Mahito. And then he also made the statement that he wished he could have had Jogo's. There we go. They got
Jogos. Mhm.
they got similar names. He wished he could have had Jogo's as well. Through Uzumaki, he definitely can take cursed spirits techniques if they're semi grade 1 and above at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a this is a very very dangerous person depending on what he gets his hands on, and the just like for instance, I mean the fact of like that he was able to awaken sorcerers all across like the country
Yeah.
with just like touching the fucking ground, like that's a goddamn issue.
And yeah, so let's touch on that a little bit, right? Awakening all these sorcerers, right? So essentially, he mentioned that there was two type of sorcerers that that he's awakened in Shibuya. Essentially,
Hmm.
one being that he's fed people these cursed objects similar to Itadori, and he's
Hmm.
also made those people's bodies strong enough to become vessels, aka like Itadori. And then
Yeah.
two, he made pacts with people like Junpei, essentially, people with cursed techniques who awaken their cursed energy and techniques and stuff like that, but didn't have the mind, he said, of a
Yeah.
jujutsu sorcerer. And so he said for those people, he altered their mind to more align with those of a sorcerer. So I guess that just means, I guess, when I'm thinking about it in terms of, I guess, the ultra mind thing, right? And thinking like a sorcerer is just more of the, I have powers and stuff like that. So maybe, I'm going to use them to survive by any means necessary, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably think so. Like, it's either that or another way I think I interpret it is that like the people of Jujutsu Society that besides like our main characters seem to be very like, I don't know if I want to say pompous is the word, but they kind of view themselves as like better than I think probably
Well,
normal
not
people.
all of them, I would say, but some of them, yeah, I will say, yeah, I'm with you,
That's what I said.
yeah.
That's what I said. Like, besides probably like our main cast and stuff like that, but like I'm pretty sure like people that are regular, in Jujutsu Society, especially like what I want to say, maybe like the Zenin clan or something like that, probably view themselves as better than non-sorcerer people, especially like how they treat you know people in their just based off like the fact that Toji was who was a leagues above a normal person, but was still looked down in his own clan because he
Yeah,
didn't have
because he didn't have
energy.
jujutsu sorcery. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's probably like another thing that he probably like was trying to do to inspire more fighting amongst like within the whole like
within
jujutsu
the
world.
yeah, and I guess
But also
mhm,
I just want to point this out because I don't know if it was just something I noticed. One of the people that
mhm.
popped up when he talked about that was Megumi's sister. Um
So
the
is that
girl
who
with
the
the
Tsukimi Fushiguro was? Is that who she is?
Mhm.
That's Megumi's sister.
My
Okay,
sister, yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe they have the same dad. If I'm not mistaken, because I think Megami when he talked about his sister in the episode, if I'm wrong, just let me know. But I believe they talked like as if she didn't have any like relation to the Zenin clan.
okay.
So for him to he legitimately meant like he found people outside of the purview of the Jujutsu world and was like, hey, guess what? You got powers now. And
Well, yeah, he definitely said, I carefully handpicked these people and
mhm,
these cursed objects, and then dumping back into these cursed objects. So now, he made the statement that, think of it as, like 1,000 malevolent Yuji Itadori's running around, right? So
mhm.
now potentially, with all these people swallowing cursed objects and stuff like that, what if these people are also going to be like essentially like many, like he said, many Isadoris, meaning by what that is, say they're gonna have like another ancient curse inside of them, similar to Sukuna.
I'm interested because I wasn't when he said that. I didn't know if he meant like exactly how Itadori is, where they can vessel for other curses, or if they became vessels for whatever curse object he used, and they gained like the curse technique of that object or something similar. But if that is the case, I mean, like that's also a big problem anyway, because it's just like how many fucking how many fucking like Orochimarus do we have? I guess, quote unquote, like
Yeah,
people
just
inhabiting
running
other people's
around here
bodies.
now.
Yeah,
And then
big
if
issue.
it's not the case that they, like you mentioned, it's not the case like the cursed spirits are actually taking over the body, but those people can just use their techniques in a sense, like he
Hmm.
mentioned. That's still kind of crazy because now you got all of these people from, I'm assuming, the golden age,
Hmm.
essentially coming back, not fully, but their techniques are coming back, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be some dangerous techniques that's just no
Yeah,
that's coming back into the world once again now, which is still kind of crazy.
yeah. I mean the fights alone. I mean, like if we have more people like Sukuna popping up, a lot more dead people. Just a lot. I mean, the man deleted a whole city, and so I don't know if we need more motherfuckers like that running around. But
I'm with you on
hey,
that. And then it's all starting to make sense now. Why this motherfucker needed Gojo out the way. And
oh
essentially
yeah.
it just all boils down to Gojo is him. It's just what it boils down to.
Hmm.
Gojo is him. I need him gone because if Gojo is still here, first of all, let's the all the cursed spirits that that fake ghetto raised up. That's probably not even an issue. You know what I mean? And that's one of his contingency plans to get all the people fighting each other. Because what I'm assuming how it's gonna go is, as these people awaken their cursed energy now, they're gonna be faced with cursed spirits because they're gonna be able to see them out, and they're gonna be
Hmm.
the cursed spirits gonna be actually attracted to them. Unfortunately, So
Yeah.
now that means they're gonna have to fight to survive. So that's that's how old girl you could be saying, are these you gonna think that you're gonna get these people to actually fight each other? Well, one, they're already gonna have to fight to survive just from the cursed spirits. And then now, two, you don't think some of them, as they're start fighting cursed spirits, and if they come across another sorcerer, they're gonna go, he like me. Let me see how strong I am.
Yeah.
Let me go box him up real quick.
I mean, not to touch on like the culling game thing too early, but the fact of like, I think the name game also implies that they're like that ghetto, that whoever's inhabiting Ghetto's body right now has like a double thing besides like putting all these sorcerers out there, that he might be starting up a competition or something that will inspire people to fight in the first place as well.
Yeah. So. His answer, his reason why he wanted people to fight each other was, quote unquote, to deepen their understanding of cursed energy, which I'm assuming just means basically, become Jujutsu sorcerer masters, and with everybody essentially becoming sorcerers and more people mastering their techniques, it's just like, it's going to bring about the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery again. Just everybody running around with basically grade 1 sorcerers and above, just running around like it's nothing.
Yeah, and that's what, and I thought that was so interesting because it's basically just like this. Whoever this guy is has been shown to just simply want to see how far the limits of jujutsu can go. And because I mean, like for instance, he created like what Choso and his brothers when he was in Kamo's body, and now he's like, I'm letting the dogs out. I want to see how much we can push this shit. He's truly just in this for like the progression of jujutsu, and that's just really interesting that we have a villain that's like, I don't really care to control anything. I'm just really here to see how crazy this shit gets. Like,
I don't want to take over the world. I just want to throw the world into chaos.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm here for. I'm here for the good time, not a long time. All right. But now it makes me think. It really makes me wonder again, just like what really happened back there during that age, to where that age of sorcery stopped. Like, did Tengen-sama play a part in bringing down Sukuna and stopping the that golden age of sorcery and things of that nature, or did Tengen-sama not come along until maybe a few maybe 100 years later, something like that, after Sukuna was already dealt with? And then even just the dealing with the Sukuna in general, how the hell did they originally stop this man?
Yeah, that's I feel like that's definitely gonna play a part. I think probably in here somewhere, because I don't know, with the calling game thing. I feel like, and also the fact that there's a group of people, or like at least one person that wants Sukuna to come back. I feel like we might find out that answer because he might get released again. And Lord,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna be on the verge, because he only needs 5 more fingers. So I'm pretty sure within this next arc, excuse me, we're gonna be even more closer to Sukuna just coming back on fully out.
Yeah, but the Tengen thing is definitely interesting because it does beg the question: when did he come about and bring a little bit more order to what I'm assuming was a world of chaos?
Correct, because that's what I'm assuming. Like, whenever Tengen-sama came and took quote unquote control of everything, like started placing his barriers up and stuff like that, I'm assuming is when the golden age of sorcery started dying down.
And that's interesting within itself, because Tengen-sama was one part of it, and then I'm assuming, and they talk about how like strong, how much Jujutsu Society changed just off of like Gojo's birth, or like placement in it. So it's like, what would happen, I guess, if they are able to take out Tengen-sama? Like, how much crazier is it gonna get? Because can it go beyond, basically?
Can it go even? Well, yeah, I didn't even think about that, because because like you said, right now, because of Tengen-sama, this whole phenomenon is contained in Shibuya, or in Japan and stuff like that. But what if he is taken out? Which also kind of leads back to my previous theory. If Fate Geto takes over Tengen body, it wouldn't necessarily be to take over the world. What if he would take over his body so he could release all the berries and stuff? So now, the curses and stuff can just start spreading.
Yeah, it's a free for all. Truly a free for all.
The pieces are starting to align slowly but surely. This is, I mean, like I said, JJK, the story has gotten really good. This is what I wanted out of season 2. JJK has definitely hopped up into one of my favorite all times off of this season alone. Yeah, I mean this season went crazy.
Yeah, but to move off of Ghetto, we find that our calls were answered a little late, but he better late
Yeah,
than never, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Yuta has returned. He is now back on the scene. But at what cost? Because it's funny. A lot of people are pointing out like how he has changed, how his look has changed from Zero to the episode where he comes back, and they're like, "Damn, why he's so mad?" And I was telling Aaron the other day when we was talking about this, I was like, I mean, I'd be upset too if I was on vacation, quote on vacation in Africa, and then I get a fucking alert that says, "Hey, the city got destroyed and your master is sealed." And the person who did it was another one, a fellow student of mine. I'd be like, God damn it! What the fuck?
All this happened while you were gone.
Exactly. I'd be pissed too. It's really so we got like these proclamations when Yuta.
Well, before we get to the proclamations, one thing I do want to touch upon, because I thought this was the case from after watching JJK Zero, though we didn't get confirmation. Rika is still alive. He still has Rika.
Oh yeah, see, I was definitely gonna touch on that. I was just gonna like loop it into the thing, but yeah, Rika is still here. So God only knows how much stronger she has gotten. They have gotten together.
God only knows. Oh man, and then now, like you mentioned, he not only has Rika has gotten a chance to get stronger, but like also Yuta has also gotten a chance to refine his curse technique even more, because essentially he's basically a Kakashi, right? So now he's mastered copying techniques probably like it's nothing, and he can probably just look at a new technique for like 5 seconds and just, oh, I can do that now easily.
Maybe, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. And man, I'm just like I said, he came back because at what cost? And we got these proclamations, and like one of his jobs is right now, it seems to be taking out Itadori. But
correct. Yeah, so we of course, in Gurren Otaku Council fashion, we're gonna go through these 5 proclamations. You're not just finna bypass these 5 proclamations like that, sir. Yeah. We're gonna go through these 5 proclamations.
I was just talking about the at what cost, because I'm like, I'm glad he's back. Kinda.
I mean, well, ain't no kinda. He's back. All right, he's back. Ain't no kinda back. The man is back. He's back with a vengeance too, unfortunately. But all right, the 5 proclamations that came out from the higher ups of Jujutsu sorcery. Starting us off with number 1. Our boy Geto's survival was confirmed. Of course, as we know, it's fake Geto, but they don't know that. And they declared the reinstatement of his death sentence, as we all remember. From watching JJK Zero, Geto went off the rails, and they put a death sentence on our old boy, and they say, hey, he's still alive. We coming back for that. You thought we weren't gonna reinstate that, my guy? Like what? Number 2, Gojo has been deemed an accomplice in the Shibuya incident and is hereby expelled from Jujutsu sorcery. And in addition, any attempt to free him from his seal will be deemed a crime. Also, notice how they didn't put a death sentence out on him, because they couldn't kill him if they wanted to. So there's no point in really putting a death sentence out on this guy.
Yeah, and I do want to touch up on that after we like get done reading it, because I just think it's funny. There's some funny thing I want to point
out. Number 3, Masamichi Yaga, the principal of the school of our JJK school, has been sentenced to death, and for enticing Gojo and Getos, hereby causing the Shibuya incident. So he's also been sentenced to death. Number 4, bullshit, our boy Yuji's death sentence has been the suspension on that has been lifted, and his execution shall be carried out promptly. Henceforth, do you hear me? All right, swiftly.
Understandable, even though we know
number 5, the biggest one of them all, our boy, special grade sorcerer Yuta Okatsu has been appointed as Yuji Itadori's executioner. I don't think he needed that proclamation from anybody, because he already stated himself he was going to kill Yuji. This just made it official, so now nobody in the Jujutsu sorcery world can fuck with him for doing it.
And one thing that drove this home in the episode, Yuji not Yuji, Jesus Christ, Utah basically told like the people, they were like, hey, can you, because they were like, this your one of your classmates, can you really take him on? He's like, motherfucker, he cut off Inumaki's arms.
What are you saying to me?
I don't give a fuck who he is.
My boy said, I don't care if he's one of Gojo's student. What?
He's like, what? Now
is Gojo here to stop me right now? Unfortunately, he's not.
Yeah. And I before I touch on 5 proclamations, I will say I'm glad Inumaki's alive, but that is a crazy stroke of luck for you to have been in the area that got deleted, and the only thing that you lost
was your arms.
Yeah, I hope that eventually we get to see him again in some capacity. But that is, I just wanted to point how crazy, insanely lucky that was. I definitely thought he was gone. And so,
I agree, because his curse technique is his voice. So as long as nothing happened to his throat or anything like that, he should still be able to use his curse technique.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm still though. If he lost, that's got to be a big blow. Because I would just
I mean, you lost both your arms. It's still, listen.
Hey, prosthetics.
You worried about Inumaki. I'm worried about Toto. All right. That's what I'm worried about. Why did it have to be Toto that get taken out? Like I said, he should have just killed him. He should have just killed him. I don't need Toto hanging around here like some old master, like he done did this for 20 goddamn years or something. No, I need him out there in the field.
Fair, completely fair. I need the delusion back. All right, the delusion source.
Exactly. Who else is gonna fill this role? I guess Choso now, but I don't want it to be him. I didn't agree to this.
But okay, so to talk about the proclamations, the second one is funny to me because it's
hilarious.
From the beginning, from the beginning of the show, they had a problem with Gojo, but it was like, damn, this thing is so strong, he keeps balance here. So it's like we can't really brush back against anything he says. So it's like when he got sealed, it was like kids leaving their parents' house, like, oh, he gone? We can do whatever now.
Pretty much.
But it's just hilarious to me because it's like, I mean, I guess granted, one of your biggest obstacles in how y'all want to run this is gone.
I didn't think about it that way as well, because Gojo was also a big influence in the political world of Jujutsu Sorcery as well. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. It wasn't just him, his strength. It was also his political, because of his strength, he had a political standing in the Jujutsu Sorcery as well. Oh my gosh.
Because for instance, Yuji's death sentence, quote unquote, was a hidden thing because of how much Gojo wanted to
had influence
until he got all of the fingers of Sukuna. So that's why one of Yuji's first missions was sending him to a place where they knew a special grade curse was, and him was dying. Because they didn't want to take the chance, because Gojo was like, this is our chance to take out Sukuna once for all. Why would we not take it? And they're like, why would we bring back Sukuna? Like, what are you talking about? And it's just, so like the 1-2 is just funny to me because they now feel like they have free reign. But my only thing is like, do y'all not see how bad it is currently? Do you not want y'all nuke back?
Y'all nuke back. But then at the same time, like I said, it all makes sense why my boy Como needed Gojo gone and out of the picture, because not only did it affect just randomly, like I said, just the cursed spirits alone, like he probably could have handled them himself. But even if he would have, activated all these other sorcerers and stuff, like I said, those cursed spirits was his backup plan to kind of force them to fight each other. And two, even if some of them still did want to come out and just wreak havoc, Gojo's still out here. Just send him after them. You know what I mean?
I mean, again, I get the plan. It's just funny to me that the people who run the society that is
the people who run the society now can make moves and decisions that are not influenced by Gojo's influence as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's just, but again, like, your society is fully a threat. You don't want the guy who could save you back?
No, I agree. Like shit's going kind of left. We might need him. Yeah, we might need that guy.
But it just shows their hubris. Like, it's
100%.
That's just crazy. And then 3, why I was like, are we really that upset that the principal, that the guy who taught them is still alive? I'm like, what? That just feels like a tacked on thing. It was just like, damn, he taught these motherfuckers. Let's teach him. Let's kill him. Like, I don't. I was like, what did he do? He gave them education.
Listen, they said he enticed Goto and Gojo. Enticed them in what way? I don't know, but that's their story, and they sticking to it.
It's just, that was just so funny to me when I read that.
They say he the reason Shibuya happened.
I was like, he taught them how to fight. Is that the excuse? Like, what are we doing?
You did this. Like, if y'all would have never taught these motherfuckers how to fight, we wouldn't be here now.
If you never gave them an education, there would be no problem. Is that the message?
I don't know, man. Listen, I guess the message is somebody else had to take the fall. So, hey,
that's what I'm assuming. But I just thought that was so when I read that, when I paused,
yeah, no, it was also funny, hilarious, because I saw that, I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Because
right?
That's what I thought as well. Because I was like, what the fuck did he do? That's what I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was like, damn, what did my boy do? Like, he was just chilling. If anything, he was also on the other people's side telling Gojo that, hey, if Yuji ever got out of hand, I won't second guess ever siding with them to kill this motherfucker. Like,
exactly.
Like, I don't know.
That's, I don't know. This is just crazy. Okay. Those are the two proclamations. I just found the funniest.
Do you think they already got my boys, or is he fighting?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I think because I don't know.
And by God, just got him locked up somewhere, not necessarily killed him just yet.
Oh, you mean like Yaga?
Yeah.
I could probably see locked up. I don't know if they got if they have fully executed, but also Jujutsu Society is ruthless because again, like I said, like they were like, all right, we're not gonna kill you. They lied to Gojo's face. It was like, all right, you got it on Yuji thing, and then behind the scenes, it's like, hey, let's pretend like this is a normal mission. Even though we know it's a special, we got a special grade curse in that building.
Essentially, because they ain't say nothing about Sukuna and why we killing
exactly
Yuji Itadori. No, I'm with you on that. You notice how they mentioned Inamaki, even though that was because it was tied to Yuta, but we ain't hear nothing about Nobara.
Granted, we don't know if they have plans to do anything with Shoko either, which is the lady who specializes in reverse curse technique, who is a classmate of Geto and Gojo, and I'm wondering, do they? I guess now that I'm thinking about it, do they not do anything with her because of how like valuable a healer is in this society?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they just are they not wanting to be like she also went to because of that? But I mean, again, Nobara is still up in the air on terms of like what may happen to her. We don't, because again, it doesn't seem like anybody's trying to fuck with Shoko right now. But only time will tell what'll happen. Because again, even though she's not a combatant, she is still regarded as a Jujutsu sorcerer because of her ability with RCT. So,
man, but let's get into the Culling Games discussion a little bit. So. After the season 2 finale, the season 3 announcement came not shortly after. So season 3 of JJK, the Culling Games, is indeed in production by Mappa, of course. It's still staying with Mappa, and we don't know when we're getting it, but it's in production. I'm assuming we're gonna get it. We're probably going to get it sometime in 2024 this year. I'll probably, if I had to guess, it'll probably be around the same time season 2 started up. So around the summer again is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would think so. If not, like, was it summer then fall? If anything, maybe fall. But I would imagine probably summer, just based on how season 1, what is it? The end of season 1 to season 2. So
yeah,
it'll probably be something to look forward to. It truly the whole culling part just really speaks to the whole like fact of what the guy in Ghetto's body was trying to basically achieve, which is I guess cull the weak, remove
cull the weak,
weakness,
keep the strong. Yeah.
And then I just wonder what that'll lead to. Like, are we going to get different factions in this game or?
Oh, that would be interesting. Like, the people who awaken their source, their jutsu sources, like, are some of them going to band together, like, and create new factions and stuff? That would be cool.
Yeah,
That'll be cool.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, also, it'll be interesting to see like what that leads to. But I'm also like, I'm not trying to side with Fate Ghetto, but I do think it'll be kind of cool to see the new curse techniques that come from all this.
I agree with that as well. And then there's also that potential. Once again, there's these ancient curse, like Sukuna, that are potentially coming back as well. So there's that aspect of the thing. And if once again, if it's not them fully coming back, their curse techniques are damn sure coming back.
I wonder, like Sukuna, will we get any old sorcerers?
The Fate Ghetto did also mention that the objects, like the cursed objects that he also had the people inhale and stuff like that, some of them also was from sorcerers as well. So yeah, that'll be cool as well to see if they kind of did the Toji thing a little bit, maybe, but with I guess it was still kind of as the what we got going on with Sukuna now, but instead of with a cursed spirit, just with another sorcerer.
Yeah, because like I said, Sukuna kind of turned himself. From what it sounds like, just based on what we literally know of Sukuna, it sounds like he turned himself into a cursed.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
A certain point in time, but like, are there? I don't know if how you.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I think, like you mentioned, I think Sukuna was originally a Jujutsu sorcerer, and just he got so strong that he became the world's first curse. If cursed spirits wasn't around before then.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe, yeah. I would assume that I'm not sure it's first, but I'm assuming like at least one that's strong or something. At least, or the first cursed user to turn himself into a cursed spirit. I'm pretty sure that might have been like his thing,
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, regardless of anything, the people entering this game, they're gonna have to stay focused. They're gonna have to stay on top of the game. And I don't know if they got Magic Mind in the Jujutsu world, but we have Magic Mind here, and they're a sponsor of this day's episode. I hope y'all like that transition. But
I love it, but he didn't even ask me if I was done talking about JJK.
I didn't. I saw an
beautiful transition, though. You saw the opportunity you had to take a beautiful transition. But keep it going,
guys. We've talked about Magic Mind a couple of the times on this podcast, but we just want to reiterate: it's a very special juice, all natural supplements used to not only provide you energy, but with focus you need to complete the task throughout the day. And for our friends in Jujutsu Kaisen, hopefully keep them focused enough to stay alive. If you want to get in on trying Magic Mind and everything, you can go ahead and go to their website, magicmind.com, and get a subscription. And luckily, with it bringing in the new year this month, they are running a promotion where you can get 1 month free when you subscribe for 3 months. And you can do that at magicmind.com/JAN Gurren Otaku. That's our special link. It'll be in the description. You can also use Gurren20, which is our promo code on the website, to also achieve the same thing. But if you're not interested in the subscription, you can also try, get an order from there using our promo code at a discounted rate. But we would recommend the subscription. Me and Ace have tried it out. It has helped us a lot with running the podcast and our daily stuff. And I'm pretty sure it could help some of you guys throughout your day. Whether that be binging anime, playing video games, or just trying to accomplish any of your work. So thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring us. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, well, yeah, once again, thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring today's episode, and as well as, I guess that is also the end of the JJK discussion. Magnificent transition still once again.
Thank you. I try.
Just closing out here for closing thoughts for JJK season 2 is definitely at least looking forward for season 3. What I'm looking forward to is definitely Yuta versus Itadori, because it's already been stated that Yuji, our boy Yuta, is on the hunt for Yuji, and even in the little teaser that they showed us for the season 3 announcements, they already showed Yuta and Itadori beating each other. So apparently we might not have to wait long once the season starts up. We might not have to wait long for that encounter to happen.
Yeah.
As well as I'm definitely looking forward to just more domain expansion battles this season. Like we definitely got
That's gonna be crazy.
We got more flesh and lore and discussion and just how the theories behind like domains and stuff works and how you can combat them and in the different ways to combat them. But now I'm looking for more domains expansions to come into the world. Geto said he wants to bring about the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery. So I'm assuming a lot of those people back in those days also had domain expansions. Let's start seeing some domain expansion fights. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm really excited for, just simply because I know we got Yuta back. I want to see his domain. I want to see what that looks like.
Oh yeah, because like what with the domain of a person that copies abilities, like what type of domain would he have for that? Like that, and even then, like what
would Rika come into it?
How would Rika come into it, and how does he imbue his curse technique to? Because like his curse technique isn't necessarily attack. His curse technique is copying other people's things. So how does that? Well, I guess it just makes it 100% to be able to copy somebody's technique. Then maybe in that sense, right?
Potentially. Does the 100 is like the 100% effect to hit? To have themselves, like, is it like making them hit themselves? Is that what we get into? Can they even use
it? Definitely be interesting. Definitely be interesting to see. I'm with you on that. Definitely looking forward to seeing his domain expansion now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, because I'm assuming all that training in Africa was definitely to help him get to harness what he, his special grade level and stuff like that. So
I agree. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. With all that being said, everybody, it's time for everybody's favorite part of today's episode, or at least my favorite part of the episode. It's time for news, but not just any news. It's time for GLC News, your weekly source for the latest anime news. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. So for this week's news, some of this news is a little bit old. We was just waiting for the New Year's to come back and talk about it with you guys from last episode, because we decided not to do news in the last episode. But yeah, so starting us off with Dr. Stone. The final season of Dr. Stone has been announced. Dr. Stone, the Science Future, has been announced. It's crazy. So the first 3 seasons is now out on Crunchyroll. If you've not yet had a chance to check out Dr. Stone, I do highly recommend it. Checking this one out.
Same. I really enjoyed, actually over the break, I took the time to catch it all the way up to the current season. Really enjoyed how it ended stuff off, and I'm super excited to see the crazy shit they about to get into in this next season.
I agree.
the ending of the third season, maybe me and Ace will do an episode on it. But the ending of the third of this last season, I was like, boy, what the fuck?
All right, moving on from there. So one of my favorite new isekais got a movie announcement. The Eminence in Shadow is getting a movie called The Lost Echoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe from what I've been reading online, this is basically just going to be the third season as a movie. Like whatever would have come after like the end of season 2, this will be the thing. So it's canon.
Lit.
I really like. I'll say this. I really like how animes have been doing that, where they've.
I do like that as well.
As a part of their thing, I wish My Hero would get on that because I think it would do better. But hey, they're doing their own thing. But it's really cool to see more animes kind of bringing their stuff into movies. But with that, next piece of news we have, it hasn't started yet, but we're slowly coming up to it. Frieren Beyond Journey's End Part 2 is scheduled for January 5th. So we basically have a consecutive core. Basically, after the first core ends, the second one starts, which is always great, I think. So
they just took a week break.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Frieren, be on the lookout for when core 2 starts.
I agree. And speaking of Core 2, the second core of Mushoku Tensei is also scheduled for April 2024. As some of you all may know, the season 2 started up this year, and boy, what a season it was. I'm not gonna go too deep into that because we do have our review for Mushoku Tensei season 2 out now on the channel now. So if you want to go and check that out, you can.
Yes, please do.
Well, for the first part of the season 2, because as I just mentioned, the second core comes out in April 2024.
Yep. After that, we have season 3 announcement. Well, not an announcement, but season 3 of Slime will be coming. Yeah, will be coming April 2024. It did get a new trailer, so if you're interested in looking at that, please go ahead and look that up.
I'm definitely excited for Slime season 3. It's definitely hopped up to one of my favorite isekais of all time, as well as related to Slime. There's going to be a some OVA episodes is going to drop before season 3 comes out. So you definitely want to check those out, because I'm not mistaken, those OVA episodes are canon as well.
Yeah, we did talk, I believe, and we did talk a little bit about them on a previous episode with news, because
Yes.
they're kind of like
it's called Colossus Dream.
Yeah, and they happen in between a certain time period. I can't remember now, but we did talk about it in the episode where we did talk
Correct.
about the episodes. With that, for those that do know, Disney is making their own special anime that's supposed to be a blend of live action and anime, and Hulu, I believe, revealed it over this past couple of weeks, the trailer. So if you're interested in Dragons of Wonder Hatch, please go ahead and look up the trailer, see if it is living up to your expectations of a live action anime mixed show.
I agree. And you must have added this one on there. And speaking of more season 3s, it looks like 2024 is just a year of season 3 here. We're gonna be getting Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World season 3, coming in April 2024 as well.
Yep, that was a recent announcement, so I just had to put that on the docket there. So, and lastly, just as a little rapid fire thing, we've got a couple of movies coming on here. So one, Great Pretender, who, for anyone that doesn't know, that's a series, it's an anime series on Netflix. Highly recommend checking it out. Is getting a sequel anime movie that's premiering February 23rd in Japan, but also getting a special screenings at some North American theaters during the 9th and the 10th of January. So if you're interested in seeing the film early, go ahead and look up to see if any of the theaters near you might be showing this film. Also, Code Geass, Rose of... hold on, my thing. It was blocking it. Rose of the Recapture anime, which is a film sequel to... Which, is it a film? Now I'm questioning myself. But it's a sequel to the recent
Code Geass
films.
Yeah.
That came out. I am, as you all know,
pause. It's a sequel to the film or the series, the original series? The films are the sequels to the original series anyway. So I remember that. We had this discussion.
Yep.
I remember.
Yeah, but it's taking place after the most recent one, which is, I believe, like Reluche of the Resurrection.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say that it's coming. That's coming in May 2024. There is a trailer out. Go ahead and enjoy that. I know I did. Really looking forward to that.
All right.
And then,
last but not least here, the one-shot manga spinoff from our boy Oda Sensei, Monsters, is getting an anime adaptation called Monsters 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation, and it's a this one shot was based upon slight spoilers for those who maybe not be fully caught up to One Piece, but there's a samurai in the One Piece world called Ryuma, and this story / manga spinoff is based on that samurai named Ryuma.
Oh, that's nice. This is getting an anime adaptation. That's cool.
Yes, and it's getting an anime adaptation.
Nice. All right.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Yep,
and that's gonna be coming out actually pretty soon. It's gonna be dropping sometime this month. Actually, not this month. It would be this month at the time of this episode, January 2024.
Okay, all right, dope. Yeah, so One Piece fans, you have something to look out for. But with all that, guys, that's news for this week. So please let us know down below if there's anything we mentioned in news that you're excited for, or if there's any anime news that we may have mentioned that you just wanted to impart with us as well. We're gonna be moving on to our weekly recommendation. This one, I'm pretty sure, is just a reminder for everybody. Watch Zom 100 bucket list. It is now back. Are all the episodes out, Ace, now?
The episodes are out, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
So be on the lookout for that. If this is your first time hearing Zom 100, brief synopsis: after graduating from a top university with an impressive extracurricular record and the rugby club, Kira Tendo has nailed every step of the way to scoring his dream job. On top of that, a beautiful and kind coworker always brightens his day in the office, always brightens his day within the office. Life seems to be going very well for Akira until he slowly realizes that the sleepless nights and brutal work are his new reality. Due to 3 years of mind-numbing labor in an exploitative company, Akira is unable to recognize the tired, unaccomplished person he has become. on track to losing basically all passion within his life, like several of his overworked colleagues. Akira finds his saving grace in the most unexpected way possible: the breakout of the zombie apocalypse. That's basically the premise for the show. It's really good, really fun time. Highly recommend checking it out. It did go on hiatus, but is now off the hiatus, and all episodes are out. So please go ahead and go show this some love if you haven't already.
Like McMillian said, this weekly break was just more of a reminder, because as he just mentioned, during the regular runtime for Zom 100, it was on and off with hiatus, and then it went on a really long hiatus, and it just came back recently with this finale for Christmas. But I do believe that Zom 100 is worth checking out, especially if you're into zombie shows and things of that nature. This is definitely a good zombie show. What I was telling McMillian when I first started watching this show is it gives me a lot of Zombieland vibes. If any of our viewers ever watched that old movie Zombieland before, I get a lot of those vibes from this anime. So it's definitely a good watch.
Yep. Yeah. So once again, our weekly recommendation this week is 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Please go ahead and check it out.
All right, that is correct, and that is the end of excuse me, everybody. So with all that being said, we're going to head into our last discussion for today, our winter 2024 watch list. Everybody, so we're gonna be talking about what the council is getting into and what we're gonna be watching for this season. So to start us off here, both me and McMillian essentially have the same watch list. There's just a few things on McMillian's list that is not on my list, so he's gonna go over those right now.
Yep. So to start us off, I have an anime I talked about before. I've read the manga for it. Chain Soldier, who's coming out the 4th of this month. Like I said, really good show. It's basically about a world where these things called mojitos exist that come and try and destroy regular. They exist in a separate almost dimension, and sometimes they break out and try to attack basically regular Japan. And they have a fighting force made up of female soldiers due to this type of I think it's a fruit that gives them powers that seems to only work with women. Our main character somehow gets recruited into the fighting force due to the fact that he can, his power can be used. He helps a captain of one of these squads basically use her power better, and then we basically go from there. And the story evolves. Just to let people know, because I didn't mention this the first time. This is a horny anime. It's edgy.
Oh my!
It's a little bit edgy, but I will say it actually has a really good story. This comes from one of the people working on this is the creator of Akame Got Kill. And as I told Ace before, I did not expect this coming. When I first read the manga, I was like, oh, Akame Got Kill's author or artist is working on this. Let me go ahead and check it out. I really like that series. Oh, it's got titties. All right, cool. But it's actually a really good story. It just so happens to have,
it has some plot in it.
This is some plot. Some extra plot. So if that is of interest to you, it comes out on the 4th. Besides that, I also have Classroom of Elite Season 3. Mind game, basically, type of show based on this academy where basically all the best students, basically all the best students go and they kind of compete to see who could be the best class within their world. And it just there's a lot of behind the scenes shadow work going on, basically a lot of alliances, betrayal, stuff like that. Really interesting. Season 2 came out this year after it had been off the air for so long. Had a great return. Can't wait for season 3 to come back on the 3rd. So yeah, those are my two weren't also on it.
So moving on from here, the rest of this is the council's winter 2024 watch list here. Starting us off with we're gonna go with Blue Exorcist, the Illuminati saga arc coming in here. So Blue Exorcist, essentially this is season 3. For those who don't know, it's a not very old, but it's a generally old anime. Where we follow the our main character, who turns out to be the son of the devil. And essentially he wants to stop his dad from coming back into the real world and taking over the world, as well as he also wants to kill his dad as well. So it's a lot of reasons to why, but long story short, he's the son of Satan. He wants to stop Satan from coming into the real world, in the real world, and he also wants to kill Satan. All right, long story short. But yeah,
Yep, yep.
definitely. I was enjoyed. Blue Exorcist. This was one of those shows. I was when I first got into watching anime. When we're just watching any anime that you can get your hands on at the time. This was one of them, and when I checked it out, I really liked it, and I was definitely disappointed after I watched season 2 and realized there wasn't a season 3 announcement. I think we waited almost close to a decade for the season 3
Yeah.
announcement here. So
If
it's been
if
a
not a
long time.
decade, yeah, if not a decade, very close to it. Just for anyone's aware who has not watched Blue Exorcist and may want to get into it, the second season has a definite ending because they were not sure if they were ever going to come back to it. Just ignore like the last 3 episodes, I think. They're not. It's a couple of. You can look it up, but there's a couple of episodes in season 2 that aren't canon due to the fact that like they were trying to end the story of the anime there, and then just probably like go to season 3. You might want to look it up online, and then this next season that we're about to get is basically just a continuation. So
Correct.
just,
Of the
just
real
keep
story, because as you
yeah
just
of the real
mentioned,
story.
season 2, they with the anime they kind of tried to force end it because they didn't know if the production was going to continue essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that'll be coming out on the 7th, if we didn't mention that already.
Correct.
Next after Blue Exorcist, the most anticipated anime probably this year, this season and potentially this year, Solo Leveling. There's as stated before, I'm pretty sure everyone probably knows about it if you're in the anime circles, but if you don't, Solo Leveling is basically about a world where humans have video game like abilities, powers, and they're ranked into these things called hunters, and you have different hunter ranks. The lowest being, I believe, is like D or F. One day, our main character, who is one of the lowest ranks ever, goes on a mission and has what they call a reawakening. But his is a little bit different because he can now see game menus and purchase items like you would in a video game shop. But he ends up having like a special ability that no one else seems to have. And he levels up like a game character, hence the name Solo Leveling. And it just evolves from there. This is not unlike other animes. This is based on a Korean comic, not like a Japanese manga, but a manhwa, and it's very highly popular. They changed a little bit, a couple of things. Like I believe the show instead of originally the character and everything, the basis was in Korea. They switched it to Japan.
Okay.
It's a little bit problematic because in the in the comic, Japan was not that great of a place. Like in terms of they did a little bit of shady stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's why they wanted to change it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that'll have a big effect on the story, but that is something that people have pointed out that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Okay.
But Soul Leveling is releasing on the 7th as well. So, be on the lookout for
Okay.
that if you're interested in that show.
Yeah. Before I do move on, I do a little touch on Solo Leveling. I got interested because McMillian told me it was an MMO style type anime, and then as the trailer started coming out, it looks really hella good. The animation also looks clean. If I'm not mistaken, Aniplex is doing this one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the animation looks real clean, and like you also mentioned, the story also seems very intriguing as well. So, if you haven't had a chance to check out the trailer yet, I would definitely go look it up, check out some of the trailers to see if you'll be interested in the show as well.
Yep. You
But
want to
all
get the
right,
next one?
yeah, I'll get the next one. So moving on from there, we got season 2 of Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. So this is a isekai essentially, where our main character, I should have wrote his name down, but I can't remember the name of the main character. But our main character in fashion, just as all it is isekai fashion, he dies and get reincarnated into another world. As he gets reincarnated into this other world, he meets this dragon. He then makes this dragon submit to him and become his servant, and that dragon turns into a human, and then from there it just goes into a whole slime-esque story, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about him meeting the goddess and that whole thing with him being very ugly. That's a big plot.
I was trying to say that one.
Okay. Well, that's a big plot point.
One of the big. I was trying to save it, but one of the big plot points for the story is that as he dies and gets reincarnated to this other world, he actually meets like the goddess of this world, essentially, or one of the goddesses, because I think there's multiple goddesses. But anyway, he meets the goddess of this world, right? And the goddess is supposed to basically like give people powers and stuff as they get reincarnated into the new world, right? But for whatever reason, this goddess just does not like the main character. He thinks he is butt booty ugly. So she says, you know what? I'm gonna rebirth you, but I'm not gonna give you any special powers. She did, because of the rebirth and the reincarnation rules, she did have to give him a power. So he got the power to understand people and everything, essentially, right? So that's why I said that helps him talk to all these different creatures and stuff, and that's how he goes on this slime X journey, as I just mentioned before. But yeah, she drops him off in the middle of the demon territory at the start of his journey, because she did not like this, but she essentially tried to kill him off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought the ugly thing was the only thing I was like, I would mention.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious, but it was one of the plot twists. Even though it is at the beginning, I was just I think it was a funny one, so I was just gonna hold off on it. But yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's McMillian Fantasy. See, and season 2 will be dropping on the 8th of January here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. After that, a anime both me and Ace really enjoyed is getting to season 2. It's coming on the 8th. High Card will be making a return. Basically think super powered. The Kingsman. Basically think the Kingsman, but super powered, because it was inspired by the Kingsman. And yeah, so it's about the secret agency. Main character was not born into this world, but impressed someone so much that they decided to make him a part of it. And playing cards, really powerful. Will we get more playing cards? Who knows?
So essentially there's for the general plot, there's this deck of magical playing cards that bestows powers on whoever holds these cards, and there was this big incident and mishap happening that spread the cards all across, I think, just Tokyo for the time being. It was either Tokyo or Japan. One of the two, but it wasn't the full world though, but spread them across, and now our group, I can't remember the name. They're trying. High Card. That's the name. They're trying to recover all the cards, essentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and season 2 is going to be coming out here on January 8th as well.
Yep. A lot of stuff coming on the same days. I'm gonna be busy.
A lot of stuff. Yes. Moving on from there, another season 2. We got Mashle, Magic and Muscles season 2 coming out on January the 6th. So Mashle is a action parody comedy anime, where some of the parodies that are in this anime is Harry Potter, a little bit of Bleach, and just your general shonen animes in general as well. But the main parody aspect of the show is Harry Potter.
Magic Academy, kids can't use magic, hilarity ensues, basically. Really decent. The season 1 came out not too long ago, so if you haven't heard of it and any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and check it out. You can watch all of it right now, and it'll probably take you maybe a week or less.
Yeah, because it's just like 12 episodes the first season. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you want to get caught up before that, for a second season, which comes out on the 6th, go ahead and head on over to Crunchyroll. You watch this anime.
All right. And this next one here is actually one of my highly anticipated isekais, or I don't think it's an isekai, but fantasy animes of the season. This one was recommended to me by our friend McMillian here, Delicious in Dungeon. You want to tell the folks a little bit about this show?
Yeah, so Delicious in Dungeon is kind of like I guess parody would be too far off. It basically makes fun of the fantasy trope of going into a dungeon and trying to slay like monsters and level up and all that stuff. The main characters, or like our cast, are trying to do that, but they're not the best band of heroes, and a lot of their time is spent like kind of getting stuck on a monster, but also like enjoying each other's company and food and stuff like that. It's got a lot of hilarious moments, but also some like really good story aspects to it. I haven't read the manga per se, but I've seen like a lot of like panels here and there as you do as one would online when stuff gets kind of popular. And
Hmm.
I'm kind of looking forward to it just based off like the fan base's excitement for it and what little I know of it already. But yeah, that'll be releasing on the 4th here,
Okay.
so we don't have that long to wait.
I agree. And to end us off here, we got some honorable mentions slash if we get around to watching these section,
Mhm.
if you will. So for me, I got two on here. I got Sin Duality and the Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. So Sin Duality is this sci-fi mech slash kaiju show that's out on Disney Plus right now. So it takes
Mhm.
place in a world where these alien slash kaiju looking monsters are attacking the world and stuff like that, and these people called drifters pilot these mechs called drifters. I'm essentially assuming where they pilot these mechs to fight and combat against these alien like creatures.
Mhm.
So from the trailer, it looks heavily cyberpunk influence, even down to the nomadic part of cyberpunk as well. So that's what caught my eye about the show. I didn't get a chance to check it out last year, but season 2 or the second core, I think this is got announced for it for this year. So if I can, I do want to get around to checking that out in general, and as well
Okay.
as the wrong way to use healing magic. Now I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not look up a single thing about this show. This just looks like a stupid isekai that has a funny name to it, the wrong way to use healing magic, and I'm all here for it.
Is it like a comedy or
Once again,
do you
I
know?
did not look
Oh,
up a
okay.
single thing about this show.
All right. All right. Yeah, okay, I get you. You just said it looks stupid, so I was like, is it like a comedy type thing? Okay. Yeah, so some honorable mentions for me. One is this show called Metallic Rogue, which I think is actually airing on Adult Swim, like a Toonami. I think that's one of the things, but it has a pretty interesting premise. It's about like this android girl who's on Mars who has a mission to destroy these 9 artificial humans who are hostile to the government.
Okay.
It looks like it's also going to be like a kind of a mecha type situation, which I like, which I'm a fan of. I might have to check out Duality, and I knew there was a game. Apparently, Duality is also a game. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I
So
didn't know that. That's
hey, yes, I didn't
interesting.
actually know that was yes, I didn't know it was the anime, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what that may be about. Another one of mine is Shaman King Flowers. The reason this is an honorable mention and not necessarily watching on this was just because
Hmm.
I haven't finished the remake of original Shaman King, and Shaman King Flowers is supposed to be a sequel.
Okay. No, I was
So
saying, is this a sequel or something? But you just
yeah,
answered it.
it's supposed
What
to
I
be a
was gonna
sequel to the
ask.
series. It's supposed to be a sequel to the series, so I'm just like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it this season, but I do plan on watching it whenever I finish the remake of Shaman King, because I'm assuming this is pretty good from what people have been saying actually about it. Um, Another honorable mention for me is this anime called The Witch and the Beast. I actually didn't know about. I think I heard about it earlier in the year, but
Yes.
Ace sent me a trailer this morning before we recorded, and I was like, hold on, now they're kind of
That is
cooking.
also one of my honorable mentions. I forgot to mention that. Thank you.
They're kind of cooking with this one. It's coming out on the 12th, and so yeah, it looks to be like some type of almost like Vanitas seems to be something like a fantasy happening, like I want to say not necessarily in medieval times, but like not current time, like somewhere in between, like what is it? I want to say the Industrial Revolution. It looks like, and that one of the people seems to be a monster, and the other person a witch. So looks to be pretty interesting. And then lastly, I have this. It's not an isekai, but like it's a kind of another like fantasy. I want to say called
Hmm.
Ashura. It comes out on the 3rd. We talked about this in news. I think one time there was a trailer for it. Basically, the premise of this thing is that Demon King of the world that this story takes place in died, and there are these demigod heroes that exist that now have to figure out who's going to fill the Demon King spot. Basically, um, it looks really interesting because it's a lot of different people and power systems and like life just it just looks really like a hodgepodge of crazy
Of
stuff
stuff.
that's coming
Yeah.
together. Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
kind of interested in it. It's just that like I'm already watching so much, I'm not sure if I'll get to this immediately.
No, I feel you on that. And then before I forget, you did ask me if it was a comedy. So I'm looking on Mall for the wrong way to use healing magic. It's tagged as an action and fantasy anime.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read
I'm a
this.
sucker.
I'm not gonna read this synopsis because once again, I'm going into this blind. I'm not gonna look up nothing about this. I like the name. It sounds stupid. We going forward. All right.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm a sucker for fantasy, so I might have to check it out right there with you. But yeah, those are our watch lists for this 2024 winter season. If you
Correct.
guys have, if there are anything if there's nothing we mentioned that you think we might want to check out, please let us know in the comment section. If you guys want to mention your watch list as well, we'd love to hear them. But yeah, that was it for us. And with all that being said, we're gonna take us on out of here. So as always, guys, appreciate you for watching / listening. As always, if you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider us follow us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otakus on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you're listening to us on the audio streaming platforms, consider giving us a follow there. Coming over to YouTube, hitting the subscribe button. Like we said, we're on the road to 100. But as well as like giving us a review or anything, really help us grow. If you're on YouTube, as always, I'm just a reminder: like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification to stay up to date on all our releases. Really appreciate the support. Really help us out. We'd love to hear from you guys. But as always, guys, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Continue to enjoy anime this year. I think we're getting a lot of good things, especially within like this first season already. So happy New Year, everyone. But this is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Peace out, everybody.